Hey guys, welcome back. This is Paula with Paula's Imperfect Plans, where I almost solely budget. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today I am going to set up my March 7th paycheck budget. So I go back and forth so much, and I really truly struggle because if I'm setting it up here on video, to me, it's way easier to do it on paper. First of all, I like paper budgeting. I love it. It's OG. It's how I started. I enjoy the convenience that comes with spreadsheets, how easy it is to click and change. I'm a total spreadsheet, fanatic, if you will. But I 100% appreciate the paper budgeting, and every once in a while I just get a hankering for it. So here we are. And what I decided I would do was I got the the Budget Mom's Budget by Paycheck Workbook, the printable version. And because I was like, I can reuse it. I can print out the papers that I want. I can print out only what I want. It'll be cheaper, less wasteful. I can, if I only want to do it this way once a month, I'm not wasting all those pages. I'm just printing out what I want, using it, and then I can deal with the rest later. So quite honestly, if the small ones had been in stock or smaller planners when I went in, I probably would have purchased the entire workbook. As much as I love the 8.5 by 11 size for absolutely everything that I do, I knew that with as thick as her stuff was, that it was going to be too big just based on what I had seen in videos. So I thought I'd go with a small one. It was out of stock. So here we are, much more economical anyway. So I entirely did not bring my favorite pen down. Hang on. Some things can be done with any old pen. This is not one of them, especially when I set it all up with this pen. I might be out of shape. Okay, so let's jump in and start with our income. Our W-2 income is the only thing that we start by budgeting with. If other things come in, that is great. If not, also fine. I am budgeting $13.17 for myself based on Paycheck Estimator. If you followed my videos, you know that I lost a raise, or I guess my husband's like, they took away your raise. And I'm like, they took away this lead position. They didn't dock my pay. They just eliminated that position. So I reverted back to just the normal worker that I was before, not a team lead worker. So anyway, it's a whole thing. So I'm estimating about $13.17. I don't know what it's going to be once deductions happen. So if we assume that that is correct, we are looking at $28.71 and 44 cents of W-2 income to budget. We come down into our fixed expenses. I put away half of our internet bill with each check, or about half. So this is the first paycheck. We are paid bi-weekly, is $30. Donations for the first check, there's an ongoing donation of $80 to an organization, and then I try to add $100 to that, so $180. REC, Rural Electric Cooperative, is our electric bill, and I could usually get away with budgeting $300, and then we put heat and air conditioning in our garage, and it's just, even though it's still fairly cold, the AC shouldn't be running a lot. I want to budget on the higher side because a couple times I've had to, I don't ever want to have to pull from somewhere else because I didn't budget enough for my electric bill, so I increased what I'm budgeting for it. Life insurance is $131 a paycheck. That's a whole bunch of policies that we have. Amazon Prime, we pay $7.48. Disney Plus and Hulu bundle is $10.69. So XM radio, I have a random number here, and what I mean by random is I'm just budgeting $12. So we have paid for one vehicle, and it was $6.48 for the longest time, and then his year was up. So I had him call back because he was going to cancel it because it was in his truck. That was our only vehicle equipped for it, and he doesn't almost ever drive his truck. The truck is mainly for the farm. But then they decreased it to like $4 a month plus taxes. And he's like, okay, for that, like, that's fine. So we did that. And then I found he bought a van in December. Was it December? I don't actually know when he bought it, but they give you the whatever. There was a promotion because it was a new vehicle, or new to us vehicle. And I told him to call and see, like, if he wanted it in that vehicle, he drives it every day, whatever. So I believe he added it, or that he put XM radio for that promotional price of $4 or $5 a month in his van. But I have not seen a charge come through yet, which is weird, on the credit card or in the bank account. So I don't know what it will be this month, because there may or may not be two of them coming out. So I'm just putting $12 in here. Seems like an appropriate roundup. HP Instant Ink, I budget $7.41. We added Netflix back. I'm so torn. Like, I don't need to pay for Netflix and Disney Plus. It's so silly. I got rid of Netflix for them to watch Disney Plus, but they spend more time watching garbage YouTube. And by garbage YouTube, I mean, like, nothing inappropriate, but I just roll my eyes at it, because just like, it's just like people acting all weird. I don't know, whatever. Okay, so, but they watch one show on here and one show on here, and I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, I would watch Netflix more because there's a bunch of documentaries on there I want to see. But anyway, so I haven't gotten rid of either one. In conclusion, I'm paying for both currently. My kids' insurance, they have insurance through the state of Iowa. It's not Medicaid, but it's a stepped up program called Hawkeye, Healthy and Well Kids Iowa, HAWKI. So we are above the income guidelines for Medicaid. But above that, there is this, essentially it's the same coverage as Medicaid, but it is considered private insurance. And it's only for children. Like, it's not, we don't qualify as adults. It's only for kids. And you start out with like, okay, so you make too much for Medicaid, but you get Hawkeye at a $0 premium. And then you get Hawkeye at like a $10 a month premium or a $20 a month premium. We have a $40 a month premium, which is the maximum that you can pay per family. So we're on the higher end of being eligible for it, but we remain eligible for it, which is fantastic, because both my husband and my jobs, it would cost probably half. It would cost every bit of half of my paychecks to insure the kids at my work, which is where I have a single plan. And my husband's, it wouldn't cost quite as much, but he works for our local county and they have taken away family insurance on a couple different occasions. So I'm not sure, not taken it away, but taken away the employer covering any portion of it. So without them covering any of the family insurance, we would be paying like $1,400 a month. And that was like 3 years ago that we got those numbers. So I certainly don't think it's decreased. So it would cost us, I don't know what we would do if our kids didn't qualify for Hawkeye, to be honest with you. I've thought about it a lot, and I'm like, honestly, I would probably just uninsure all of us and cash stuff every penny in saving of medical expenses, because I don't know how one could live if we were paying $2,000 a month of, so this is one paycheck, so 2871 times 2, and my second paychecks are smaller because I have two policies that come out of that. $5,700 a month, and if we paid $2,000 of that in insurance premiums, yikes. Okay, I don't know how people do that. So our HELOC, so that is our the current debt that we're working on. Do I know the actual payment yet? No, I don't pay that with the first paycheck. Ooh, what am I thinking? Okay, so balance transfer card, I pay that with both paychecks. With the first check, I pay $155. Our school lunch account. I think I've explained this every time, guys, and I'm so sorry. But for anyone who's new, so our school went to, instead of us putting money on the lunch account, they bill us every 2 weeks, just like they do with like the before and after school program. So I get a bill for, and I say lunch, but my kids are there in time to eat breakfast and have the opportunity if they choose to do so. I know like two of them eat it. One of them eats it really consistently, one somewhat consistently, and one super sporadically, but they know that they have the option if they want to. They also get up super early, so they probably eat 2 breakfasts before they go in the morning. Anyway, so I never know exactly what that bill is because it depends on where there are no school days. And honestly, it depends on when they run the billing. Because, like, they're supposed to do it every 2 weeks. But admittedly, like, we're all human. People get busy. Like, sometimes it's more like 15 days. And then which is like 3 school weeks. And then not, so it's not super consistent. So I don't ever know what that's going to look like. But what I do know, I usually budget $130 per paycheck because I don't think I've had it be bigger than that in what should be a 2-week time frame. However, our school, we fundraise through the Raise Right app. So we buy gift cards and then or make purchases through that app, and the different, like Quick Star, when it's on bonus, which is where I get gas, they give 9% back to the school. And so it's a fundraising situation. And in years past, they've taken that and given the family like half off of tuition and stuff. And this year is the first year that they're giving us 100% of what we get as an incentive for us to use the Raise Right app. So I purchased a lot of things through that app because basically things that I was going to buy anyway, like gas, is the biggest one. And then if I book like flights or something, like you can do, Delta has like an okay percentage. A couple hotels that I've stayed at have decent percentages to get a gift card to that place and then pay with a gift card because then I get money back. Anyway, so based so far on what we've spent, that money gets credited to our school lunch account on or after the 6th of March. So that should be credited for this. So I'm budgeting 75, even though I think it'll probably be more like 55 or under, but I don't want to shortchange myself and promise that money to someone else and then have to give it to the school lunch account. And then Kindle. I pay for Kindle Unlimited. I say every month I'm going to get rid of it. I have read it as March 7th, and I think I'm at 50 some books already this year. Like, I read fast. I like almost skim read when I read on whatever. I stay up way too late and read into the night. I read in the morning when I get my coffee. And I read, so like, I keep trying to read like real things of like substance and like historical importance and social advocacy stuff. And I'm like, I do that in my real life. I do that, like I do it for work. I do that, in some of the like podcasts that I listen to and the YouTube things that I follow are very oriented in that. Like, I need my books to be, and I call them garbage, and they're not garbage by any means. I mean, like, people are like, what do you read? And I'm like, I read garbage romance, like garbage romance. And I don't mean that it's garbage. I just mean like, I don't think I'm getting any smarter by reading it or whatever, but it's kind of my thing that's less, it's my escape from the whatever. But anyway, read a whole lot of gay romance. Gay romance is my thing. So, all right. Anyway, enough about that. I have talked a whole lot. Let's get down to this budget. All right. So my fixed expenses, because things like our school lunch bill change and whatever else, I know that it should be a variable expense. Very aware of that. There's not room in my variable expense category. So I took the things that are reasonably fixed and put them up there. And in theory, I did, so when I was putting the money on the account, it was a fixed bill. Now it only lets me pay it. I think it's a lot less of an accounting nightmare for them to just bill us what we owe at the end of it. Okay, so when we subtract 287144 minus 101996, 1851.48 is what is left over. So I'm going to pull that down here to our variable expenses. Then in our variable expenses, we do the same cash categories, and most often they're the same amounts. So groceries is $280 per pay period. Again, I get questions on how do you do that as a family of 5. That does not include any of our beef. So we just got a beef from the locker. Like, we raised the beef and then we took it to the locker. So that, yeah, and we that's our main source. So we only ever have to buy if we're eating some kind of seafood, or we do a lot of chicken breasts, or if we're doing like chicken strips, like some kind of breaded thing. Drinks, $60 for drinks. Not interested in your opinion on whether or not I should be drinking. Okay, $120 in spending. That's $70 for my husband, and I have decreased mine to $50 because I do not need to spend $70 on crap every 2 weeks. I put drinks in here twice. Isn't that fun? Well, that helps that I'm out of, no wonder I'm out of lines here. Okay, so dine out is $100. And actually that's good because I actually need this line for the co-op. I'll come back to that in a second. Car washes, budgeting $30. We almost never use it, but I want the opportunity to if it ever gets warm. Donuts is $12. $1 for the donut basket and $1 for the collection basket at church for each of my 3 kids for the next 2 weeks. That's $12. Work meals, I do when we have our monthly team meeting. We go out to eat, so I give myself $20 for that once a month. Beauty will be getting $0 for this paycheck. I try to do that with the second paycheck. Doesn't always work out that way. So then up here, ridiculous, Paula. Okay, so here, co-op. So this is the bill. So gas for our vehicles. My husband's truck is diesel, so the gas, whatever. So that's a separate gas. So he fills it up at our local co-op. I think they give him 3 or 5 cents off a gallon to charge it to the account, and then I get a bill at the end of the month. He doesn't drive it very often, but to fill up his truck is probably $90. So I'll check it hopefully soon and see what that looks like. Gas cards, because I used to save gas in a sinking fund, so I feel like I need to, in my brain, if I'm calling in a variable expense and billing out gas cards, I really need to make it known the difference. So most of our gas is covered by my mileage checks from work. I'm putting $50 towards it this time, and then the fee for it's a 29-cent convenience fee to use the Raise Right app, which more than pays for itself. So that's what I'm budgeting for gas for this pay period. So our variable expenses, all right, in total, that is $772.29. If we subtract that from $1851.48 that we had when we came into variable, we are now left over with $1079.19. So we carry our $1079.19 up to the top of sinking funds. Enjoy it. Okay. So let me come up to our sinking funds. So currently, the first one I have listed is emergency. Right now we're doing the Save 2025 and 2025 challenge that I have. And so that's going to add up to, I usually try to do 2 of the little boxes per paycheck. That will be $80 with this paycheck going right to our emergency fund. I'm going to be putting $50 in vacation, $10 towards propane, which is our winter heating cost. We're so close to through winter. I'm hoping that we can just be done with that. Okay, for Christmas and vehicles, I'm setting $40 aside for both of those, even though I'm starting to do them in cash challenges. They're specifically designated for that purpose. $50 is going to go into our kids sinking fund online for larger and more expensive and activity type things in addition to like the cash envelope that I have. Saving up for summer daycare, where we have a teenager hired. $160 I'm setting aside for that. And then we are putting $50 aside for medical. We are putting $8 aside for workout subscription and $5 for Mint Mobile. Those are some annual bills there. Vehicle registration is also a semi-annual bill, and I don't save for that with this check. Insurance is a semi-annual bill as well. And I guess that's an annual bill. This is a semi-annual bill, and I save $300 with the first pay period. I'm putting nothing into a gas sinking fund. For savings challenges, I have set aside $252 our savings challenges fund, holidays, and emergency fund, and some in the emergency fund binder, and our the rest of our sinking funds. Okay, so let's add this up, and I don't know how I want it. I'm just okay. Let's do it like this. All right, so plus 50, 10, 40, 40. That is 1045. If I subtract 1045 from the 1079.19 that was remaining, that leaves us with 34.19 left to budget. So if I pull that down into the last category, I'm going to put buffer here, and that's going to get my 19 cents, and 34 cents is going to go into our debt binder. So it's not going directly into an extra debt payment like right at this minute, but it is going to go to the binder, which when that is done, it goes right onto debt payments. So it's going to extra debt, nowhere else. I'm just stopping at the binder in between. Anyway, so this is my paycheck budget. It was so chatty. I am so sorry. Thank you guys for watching. If you stuck with me, I feel like it's finally nice and warm outside. So maybe like give me a sunshine down in the comments if you made it all the way through. I so appreciate all of you watching. Thanks guys. Bye.